Also, the Nigerian National League, the most important league in the country, that is NNL. 4 teams are back to the Nigerian Premier Football League. Come next season, the likes of Warri Wolves, Wiki Tories of Bauchi making a comeback, Kun Khalifat, Barau FC of Kano, all getting promoted back to the Nigerian Premier Football League. For Barau FC, this is their first time in the top flight, alongside Kun Khalifat. Warri Wolves have been there before, and also Wiki Tories of Bauchi. Yes, we will see these 4 teams playing in the Nigerian Premier Football League come next season. All right, also the female Yellow Greens of Nigeria, that is cricket right now, are preparing for the World Cup qualifiers. So we will look at all of these stories on the show this morning. Sit tight. And also we will be opening the phone lines. What's your prediction? Chelsea versus PSG. That game will be played on Sunday. And we'll continue to look at Super Eagles Team B, who are preparing for the Chan Nations Championship. To be staged by Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya. The 3 East African countries will be hosting the Chan 2025. So the players are already preparing their Inikene, that is Remo Stars Stadium in Ikene, Ogun State, where they are preparing for the Chan Nation Championship. Yes, the competition is meant for players playing their trade in the local leagues. Yes, players playing their trade in the various leagues of their country. So it's not open for foreign players. All right, let's start from the home front. This time around, we start with cricket, where Nigerian women's senior cricket team, the female Yellow Greens as they are called, are currently in a 14-day open camp at the High Performance Center in Benin City, ahead of next month's 2026 ICC Women's T20 World Cup qualifiers in Namibia. That is the International Cricket Council. That's the meaning of ICC. The Nigerian Cricket Federation, NCF, has invited 22 players to camp ahead of the Division 1 qualifier, which will be held from August 28 to September 7th, 2025. The players in the Nigerian camp are a bunch of stars from the ICC Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup that happened in Malaysia earlier this year, as well as other regulars and newly invited players. They include Captain Favor Esiegbe, Salome Sunday, Esther Sunday, Sarah Etim, Lucky Piti, Peculiar Agboya, Kende Amusa, Victory Benedion, Christabel Chukunonye, Shola Adekunle, Rachel Samuel, Lillian Ude, Anointed Ahigbe, and Peace Hussein. All of these players were there at the Under-19 Cricket World Cup that happened earlier this year in Malaysia. So the bunch of players are from that squad. Others are Almo Sigo Egwakun, Abigail Igbobi, Rukayat Abrazak, Deborah Bassi, Habibat Oremiye. Oremiye is the name, and we have Osayende. Osayende Mohibo, Ayomide Abrazak, and Urante Divine. Urante Divini, led by coach Leke Oyede. Nigeria will battle Zimbabwe, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Namibia, and 2 other teams from Division 2. Division 2 will be held in Botswana from July 20th to 26th. Yes, with the top 2 teams advancing to Division 1, where they will join Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Namibia to battle it out for the 2026 ICC T20 World Cup ticket. So we wish our own Nigerian female Yellow Greens the best of luck and the best of outing during the qualifiers. Yes, note that the top two teams from the African qualifiers will advance to the global qualifiers, which will be played later in the year. The 2026 T20 World Cup will be played in England, another strong nation when it comes to cricket. Meanwhile, the men's senior team, that is the Yellow Greens, are also in camp in Lagos ahead of the men's 2026 World Cup qualifiers. The qualifiers will be held in Zimbabwe from September 28 to October 4th, while the World Cup is bid for India. Indian. When it comes to cricket, take nothing away from India. Yes, it's bid for India and another top nation in cricket, Sri Lanka, between February and March of 2026. They will also play the ILT20 Cup from July 13 to 30th in Uganda. Nigeria will face Namibia, Kenya, Malawi, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, and Botswana in the final of the qualifiers in Zimbabwe. The Yellow Greens topped the African qualifier Group B last year to book their spot in the final round, which will produce two other teams from Africa. Nigeria has never qualified for both the men's and women's T20 World Cups, but has ticked both boxes at the under-19 level. So Nigerian senior team has never qualified for the Senior World Cup. That's the T20 World Cup before. But at the under-19 level, both the male and the female team have both qualified and participated in the ICC T20 under-19 World Cup. Let's take this story from the world of handball. It is the Adova Handball Premier League going on in Benin City, as Niger United's coach Jkuly Adeboye has expressed confidence in his team's ability to lift the Adova Handball Premier League trophy this year. Adeboye stated this after his team 21-17 win over Benue Buffaloes yesterday at the ongoing first phase of the league in Benin City, Edo State. Both sides came out strong in the opening minutes, but Niger United seized the initiative to win the first half 11-8. The Buffaloes came back strong in the second half, but were pegged back by United, who won the game to record their third victory in the competition. Adeboye, utility player in his heyday, said that his team won the title 3 years ago, and winning it this year will be a big relief after losing the title in the last two editions. He stated that his players were ready for the big task, noting that the team had trained hard for the competition and lifting the trophy would be a reward for hard work. Also, yesterday in the games played, in the other games, Safety Shooters of Abuja defeated another Abuja team. Safety Shooters defeated D Defenders. The Safety Shooters are road safety team, while D Defenders are civil defense team. So both of them are based in Abuja. Safety Shooters defeated D Defenders 38-27, while halftime scores are standing at 18-15. Also, Shu United lost to Coas Shooters, that is the Army's team. Coas Shooters at 13-25, with the first half ending 4-14, while Toji Marine of Lagos, the defending champion, bounced back with a labeled and a hard-fought win against Adamawa Warriors as the game ended 29-27. In the female category, Rema Queens of Sokoto beat River Queens of Port Harcourt 33-22, with the first half ending 16-8, while Imo Grasshoppers who trailed Ekiti Queens 15-10 in the first half, had to rally round to win the game at 29-27 with just 2 goals separating Ekiti Queens and Imo Grasshoppers. Yes, the first phase is ongoing in Benin City, and after the first phase, the top teams will now go and battle it out for who is going to win the title. Okay, let me give you this complete story from the Chan Eagles. That is Super Eagles B. Yes, as 35 players invited to the Super Eagles B camp ahead of next month's 2024 Chan tournament have been declared ineligible after moving out of the country to sign for other clubs. I gave you the story yesterday. And the 5 players are Papa Daniel Mustafa Waliu, Jkuly Savior Isaac Abubakar Sadiq, and Philip Adejo. They were declared ineligible by the Nigerian Football Federation days after the James Camp opened in Kene, Ogun State. These 5 players have become ineligible to feature for Nigeria, the Chan Nation Championship. They have all moved out to sign for other clubs outside Nigeria. That is according to the statement coming in from the NFF. Yes, Abubakar Sadiq played for Plateau United, Philip Adejo, Abia Warriors, Xavier Isaac, Rangers International of Enugu, Papa Daniel Mustafa, Niger Tornadoes, and Waliu Jkuly of Ikorodu City. Some of them featured prominently during the qualifiers against Ghana last year. While 28 players have reported to camp, that was on Wednesday. The NFF also noted the absence of 2 other players. Ifeanyi Onyebuchi of Rangers International is out injured, while goalkeeper Ifeanyi Hakot of Sporting Lagos is with the under-20 team. It was between the sticks yesterday when Nigeria drew 1-1 with Ghana. Where it remains to be seen if coach Eric Sahwo Shell will call up 5 new players to replace the ineligible stars. Nigeria were runners-up in 2018, and for this year's competition, they are in Group D of the 19-team tournament. They are in the same group with holders Senegal and are joined by Sudan and Congo. Nigeria first game against Senegal, second game against Sudan. Both will be played at the first game will be played at the Amman Stadium on the island of Zanzibar. That is in Tanzania. Before they will face Congo at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Note that Nigeria has never won the tournament, having finished third at the 2014 edition in South Africa before losing the final against host Morocco 4 years later. The program is Citizen Sports, reaching you from 93.7 FM. Alright, still on the national team stories, where Nigerians Flying Eagles began the defense of their WAFU B Under-20 Championship regional title with a 1-1 draw against host and arch rivals Ghana in their opening Group A encounter yesterday. The clash, which went down at the Pram Pram Center in Accra, saw the host dominate proceedings and duly found the breakthrough in the 22nd minute through skipper Aziz Misbah after he fired a belter home. The Black Starlets went into the interval holding the slim advantage over their fierce historical rivals. Upon resumption of the second half, coach Aliu Zubairu's team began to up the ante. Having been pegged back for the most of the first half, the Flying Eagles got their rhythm and began to create opportunities in a bid to grab the equalizer. The most sought-after equalizer came 10 minutes from time when Ablahi Muhammad directed his header into the net of a corner kick. Both teams went in search of the go-ahead goal, but it was no avail as they settled to share the spoils. The result left both sides with 1 point each. Aliu Zubairu's side will next face Benin Republic at the same venue on Sunday, July 13th. A victory for the Eagles, the Flying Eagles, will see them move into the knockout rounds of the competition, in which they are the defending champions. So let's see what happened on Sunday. All right, let's leave the junior team and go straight to the senior men's team now. That is the Super Eagles. Nigeria have slipped to 44th in the latest FIFA Men's World Ranking released yesterday, Thursday. Their lowest ranking since June 2019. Nigeria is now ranked 44th in the world when they occupy the 45th position globally. The slight drop in the July 2025 edition comes despite Nigeria remaining unbeaten during the recent international window. As I've always said, these rankings don't play football. The only benefit of ranking is that whenever there is a major competition, you are seeded in a better group and you get not to be pipped. Get not to be pit against strong opponents in any major competition. That is what ranking does. But on the pitch, rankings don't play football. If you remember the last World Cup, where a country like Saudi Arabia stunned the Ablesti, that is the Argentine national team. Saudi Arabia defeated Argentina, and if you look at their ranking, very, very far. Okay, Eric Shell's side drew 1-1 against Russia in a friendly match played on June 6th and featured in the Unity Cup in London, where they defeated Ghana 2-1 in the semi-final before settling for a 2-2 draw with Jamaica in the final. Nigeria went ahead to win the penalty shootout of that Unity Cup and lifted the trophy. Those three games yielded a marginal points increase from 1,481.35 points to 1,484.26 points, a gain of just 2.91 points. However, that was not enough to prevent the Super Eagles from slipping one place in the global standings. It is the third time within the past 9 months that Nigeria have occupied 44th in the rankings, having held the same position in both November and December 2024. They had briefly risen to 43rd in April this year, before sliding back again in July's release. On the continental front, Nigeria's latest position keeps them 5th among African nations. Morocco remained the highest ranked African country in the world at 12th. They are ranked number 12th in the world ranking, followed by Senegal, the only country among the continent's top 10 to move up, going from 17th to 18th. Egypt dropped to 34th, while Algeria held steady at 36th after a mixed run of results. Ivory Coast fell to 45th following a winless 4-match stretch, allowing Nigeria to stay marginally ahead in the continental table. Other African countries also experienced movements. Other African countries that also experienced movements are Tunisia remaining 49th, Cameroon dropping to 51st, and Mali slipping to 54th after a defeat. South Africa remained 56th after a busy match window that included 8 fixtures, but ended in disappointing results with just a win. Yes, on the global stage, Argentina continued to lead the rankings, followed by Spain, France, England, and Brazil. So Argentina first, Spain second, France third, England fourth, and Brazil are fifth. Croatia returned to the top 10, while Mexico climbed 4 places to 13th, following their Gold Cup triumph. Costa Rica were the biggest climbers in the latest edition, rising 14 places after reaching the quarterfinals of the same tournament. Yes, FIFA, that is Federation International Football Association, confirmed that over 200 international fixtures were accounted for in compiling the July rankings, and the next men's world rankings will be published on September 18th, 2025. We hope by then Nigeria will move up. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see Nigeria moving to 30-something in the world and probably jump 20-something position in the world. It depends on how far and how well they can go and what they will do. We know that the World Cup qualifiers is coming up by September and October. So let's see what Nigeria will do and where we'll be placed when the rankings come again by September 18th, 2025. All right, let's go for this breather. And when we come back, we'll come back with more footballing stories for your listening pleasure. Thank you.
It has just begun.
Check it out.
Rescan your dial. Now.
You found it.
You found it.
Citizen 93.7 FM.
Great job.
We are the best.
The best.
To 93.7 Citizen FM, based in Nigeria's capital.
Your #1 radio station.
Welcome back from that breather. It is Citizen Sports. We are part of your life. All right, let's shoot straight to Morocco. Nigeria have sealed their place in the quarterfinals of the delayed 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations with a hard-fought 1-0 win over Botswana on Thursday night, thanks to a late strike from Jkuly in Casablanca. That is at the Labuzauli Stadium. The Falcons, the Super Falcons of Nigeria, were made to wait until the 88th minute before finding a breakthrough in a match where they dominated possession but struggled to convert chances. The result takes Nigeria to 6 points from 2 games and extend their winning run in WAFCON group stage matches to 5, having not gone 450 minutes without conceding any goal. Coming into the tie of a confident 3-0 thrashing of Tunisia, Nigeria made 3 changes at the break after a frustrating first half that ended goalless. Coach Justin Madugo introduced Chiwendu Hezuo, Christy Uchebe, and Esther Okoronkwo in a triple substitution as he searched for greater attacking impact. The changes eventually paid off late in the second half after Nigeria continued to push for a winner, with Botswana struggling to hold off wave after wave of pressure. Before the goal, Jennifer Kegine, who had replaced the booked Deborah Biondo in the 70th minute, came closest to breaking the deadlock. Her calling effort in the 82nd minute forced a sharp save from Botswana goalkeeper Sedilame Bosija, who had earlier been treated for injury. Ekegine had also gone close in the 71st minute with a left-footed strike that flew just wide. Nigeria's breakthrough came just 2 minutes from time. Ihezuo, who had scored in the opening win over Tunisia, reacted first to a loose ball in the box and powered it past Bosija to hand Nigeria all 3 points. It was her second goal in 2 games, which underlines her growing importance in Madugu's plans. The game started with high energy from both teams, but neither could find rhythm early on. Nigeria dominated in the midfield with the likes of Halimatu Anyide and Tony Payne helping to create openings. However, efforts from Asisat Oshoala and Rashidat Ajibade were either wayward or well defended by the Mares of Botswana, who were aiming to bounce back from their open Group B defeat to Algeria in their first game. Botswana had moments of threat in the first half. Lone Gao Fetoje and Lesigo Randiakanyo were involved in quick transition that caught the Falcons' defense unaware. Yes, the defense was sleeping. They caught them napping. But goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie was alert to deny a long-range shot from Laone Molloy in the 33rd minute. The Mares also won several free kicks in dangerous areas but could not convert them into clear-cut chances. Nigeria's best chance before the break came in quick succession. Ashley Plumter's shot flew over the bar in the 23rd minute before Sinachi Ohale and Tony Payne also missed from close range. Oshoala's final act of the night was a low drive that drifted wide before she was replaced by Okoronkwo at halftime. The second half followed a similar pattern with Nigeria taking control and Botswana sitting deep. Ihezuo, who replaced Rishola Babajide, had an early header go over the bar, while Deborah Abiodun picked up a yellow card that rules her out of the next group game against Algeria. Despite the frustrating delays and Botswana defensive efforts, the Falcons stayed patient. Echegine's introduction gave Nigeria more urgency, and her movement kept the Mares under pressure. Just as the game appeared to be heading for a draw, our own Ihezuo pounced her to settle the context with an easy, but not too easy. The defense were sleeping, and she just sneak in and poke the ball into the back of the net to give Nigeria all 3 points. It was a well-earned win for Nigeria, who now sit top of Group B and have booked their place in the quarterfinals with 1 match to spare. Whatever happens between Algeria and Nigeria in the last game on Sunday, well, Nigeria are already through to the quarterfinals. So it's going to be battle of supremacy. Who tops the group? Because Algeria have 4 points and they are also on the brink of bowing out of the competition. But let's see. It also depends on what happens between Botswana and Tunisia. Tunisia now has 1 point, and they will be looking for a win against Botswana to also have 4 points. If Nigeria beats Algeria will remain 4 points, and Tunisia, if Tunisia also beats Botswana, Tunisia will also have 4 points. It will now go to head-to-head, and also goals is going to count. But for Nigeria, whatever happens in that game against Algeria, they are already through to the quarterfinals. just to maintain that 100% record in the group stage is what is at stake for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. If they win, they will be on 9 points, and then avoid the team likely to top the group they will be facing. Nigeria is in Group B. A victory against the Mares of Botswana means that Nigeria have not conceded in their opening 2 games from the first time since 1998. That is a clean sheet they've kept. So since 1998, Nigeria have not conceded in their opening 2 group games for the first time since 1998. Botswana, on the other hand, now face an uphill task to qualify with only 1 point from 2 games. They must beat Tunisia in their final match and hope other results go their way to have any chance of advancing. That is Tunisia, not Botswana, because Botswana lost to Algeria 1-0 in the first game. As we are in Group A, as we are in Group B, Tunisia and Algeria had earlier played out a goalless draw in Casablanca. The result left both teams on 1 point. 4 points for Algeria and 1 point for Tunisia. All right, still on WAFCON. As the second round of fixture in the group phase of the 13th edition of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations tournament hits up, Nigeria Jkuly is amongst others leading the continent's elite attackers who are already off the mark as the race of the Golden Boot intensify. The opening round of fixtures across the 3 groups saw the likes of Gizalene, Gizalani Chibak of Morocco, and Babrambanda of Zambia, Mama Diop of Senegal, Ungena Ndiaye of Senegal, and Rachel Kudananji of Zambia, Asisa Oshuola, Chiwendu Hezo, and others already hitting back of the net in an impressive fashion as they bid to bring glory to their respective nations in Africa Elite Women's Competition. Leading the way in the race for the crown top scorer of the tournament is Chibak of Morocco and Ndiaye of Senegal. The 34-year-old Chibak has continued from where she left off in the previous edition of the WAFCON, also hosted in her country, which was named the tournament's best player and top scorer with 3 goals in 2022. And as we speak, she already has an hat-trick to her name, the first hat-trick of the tournament. Currently, the skipper of the nation has netted 4 goals in just 2 matches. She scored in the opening draw with Zambia as the Copper Queens of Zambia before netting a hat-trick in the 4-2 victory over DR Congo. Ndiaye, on the other hand, has also emerged a serious contender for the Golden Boot with 4 goals as well. The Senegalese striker fired a brace in the win against DR Congo, then netted another brace in her country's 3-2 defeat to Zambia in midweek. Coming closely behind is Zambia's captain, Banda Barbara, with 3 goals. The star forward scored the tournament's opening goal when the Copper Queens battled to a thrilling 2-2 draw with host Morocco and followed that up with more strike against Terenga Lionesses of Senegal. Currently boasting 2 goals each are Nigeria's Ihuizwo, Kundananji of Zambia, Mama Diop of Senegal. So let's see the last group game. What will happen? Maybe there's going to be a shift. Ihuizwo definitely Maybe we'll be on the score sheet to increase our tally. Alright, let's move straight to the FIFA Club World Cup, where Real Madrid manager Xabi Alonso will hold a showdown talks with the likes of Vini Jr., Kylian Mbappe, following their exit from the FIFA Club World Cup. The Los Blancos were eliminated in the semi-final after a humiliating 4-0 bashing by PSG in their semi-final clash on Wednesday night. Fabian Ruiz scored twice on either side of course, Dembele's goal as PSG raced into a 3-goal lead just after 26 minutes of action. Goncalo Ramos of Portugal came off the bench to grab the fourth for the Champions League winners. Madrid failed to threaten PSG in the game, despite starting Vini, Mbappe, and Jude Bellingham. Reports from Spain has it that Alonso will speak particularly to Mbappe and Vinicius in the coming days amid concerns over their work rate of the ball. The club's hierarchy are concerned over the lack of teamwork in the squad and are determined to end negative gestures towards teammates. These are some of the criticisms that were identified by Alonso's predecessor, Carlo Ancelotti, and the former Madrid midfielder is determined to resolve the issue. If they don't resolve it, they will keep suffering defeat upon defeats. Meanwhile, Real Madrid have suffered a double injury blow as they exited the FIFA Club World Cup. They record that the Los Blancos were eliminated by PSG. Goals from Fabian Ruiz, Dembele, Goncalo Ramos gave the Parisians a 4-0 humiliating of Xabi Alonso's team. Yes, according to reports, Hendrick has recently suffered a relapse of the muscle injury he sustained in May. The Brazilian forward is now expected to be sidelined for weeks. Also, Trent Alexander-Arnold will undergo tests in Madrid to see the extent of muscular problem he felt in his right leg. The Englishman was not part of Real Madrid's squad that was defeated by PSG on Wednesday night. The right back played in Real Madrid's 3-2 victory over Borussia Dortmund in the quarterfinal stage, but was substituted during the encounter. Also on the injury plate, he will be going for surgery, and he will be out up to 8 weeks. That is Jude Bellingham. So Madrid suffering injury right now. Yes, the final of the FIFA Club World Cup comes up on Sunday between PSG and Chelsea. Let's see if we can get one caller, just one, before we go away from the show, because we are almost out of time. 0903-222-9797. Who wins the finals come Sunday? Or a WhatsApp message 0818-222205. 0903-222-9797 is the number. Or 0818-222206. 0818-222205. 0903-222-9797. So who wins the game on Sunday between PSG and Chelsea? Yes, transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has revealed why Manchester United are not expected to challenge Galatasaray for Victor Osimhen. According to him, the Nigerian striker won't be joining the Premier League side due to financial consideration. This is despite ongoing speculation linking him with a move to the Premier League. Osimhen is likely to remain at Galatasaray, where he spent last season on loan, despite his name being mentioned among top European clubs in the summer transfer window. Red Devils were often mentioned as a potential destination for the Nigerian international. However, not every club can afford the former league striker at this point, including Premier League giants under their current wage structure. Osimhen is receiving a net salary of 12 million euros per season at Napoli. Galatasaray are willing to increase to 16 million euro net annually. Osimhen will emerge one of the highest paid players in Europe when he finally signs for the Turkish giants in a matter of days. Many of you are asking me if Manchester United can try to hijack this deal. Romano said on Thursday night, I am not aware of Manchester United entering into this one, not just for the 75 million euros, but also because of the salary. The real point between Premier League clubs last summer and this summer has always been about the salary. Osimhen is on 12 million euros net at Napoli, and imagine Galatasaray are prepared to pay 16 million euros net per season. That is a whooping sum of money. He said this is completely different compared to the wage structure they have at Manchester United. This is why the moment United have not made a move, he said. Yes, still on transfer, Ghana star. The Black Stars of Ghana player Mohamed Kudus move to Tottenham has been confirmed. Kudus joined Tottenham after the North London side agreed a deal in principle with West Ham for a package reaching £55 million, plus add-ons included on a 6-year deal. Kudus chose Tottenham over the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea, who reportedly showed interest. So Kudus will be playing for Tottenham come next season. Yes, Chelsea winger Noni Madueke is now set to undergo medical tests ahead of a move to Arsenal this summer, after the two Premier League clubs agreed a deal for the Chelsea player. Okay, the last lap of the show now. We come back home where 4 Nigerian National League side, the ongoing Super 8 promotional playoffs, have gained promotion to the Nigerian Premier Football League. Promotions were confirmed at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba, Delta State, and the Southern Delta University Stadium, Zoro, Wiki Tourists of Bauchi, Barau FC Football Club of Kano, Wari Wolves and Kun Khalifat Football Club of Owerri emerged winners from the Southern Conference to secure promotion to the Nigerian Premier Football League. So Wiki Tourist Barao FC of Kano, Kun Khalifat and Warriors all will now be playing in the Nigerian Premier Football League come next season. Yes, and the last straw, the prospects of watching 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic take on world number one Yannick Sinner for a place in the Wimbledon final is a mouth-watering one, but fitness concerns remains before Friday's match. That match is today between the world number one Yannick Sinner and Djokovic. All right, this is where we'll leave it on the program. Citizen Sports, the show makes its return on Monday. Up next is Ashraf. I'm Emmanuel Fashimi. I'm out of the studio.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given